G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map, playing in the colour purple is the Malians once again. We've been featuring him plenty this week, and I've been loving his game so far. It's the one and only, the Wallalol god himself, Salami. And spawning in on the west side of the map, big open position towards the north. Look at this open space that he's got up here. Playing in the colour pink as the Delhi Sultanate. It's Puppy Paw. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia once again. The home. You know what? I feel like, you know, I really like the concept of Mem's tournament. I don't know if Mem was the guy who started it or whether he's the guy who finished it or whatever it is, but he hosts this event for Age of Empires 2 called King of the Desert. And I love that concept. And I think it's just because I love Dry Arabia, right? Like, Dry Arabia is just, it's such a great map. It's such a great map. I feel like it is the pinnacle of testing a civilization and a player's skill. Dry Arabia, you know, the openness, it allows civilizations like the French to actually really begin excelling, and you can start to see potential micro... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm just thinking of Lucifron, all right? I remember watching Lucifron play on this map and just seeing him micro his knights like an absolute beast. And I think that's, for me, really what drove it home. It's like, it gives you an opportunity to play an insane game. But at the same time, you can still play a defensive game if you want to. Ooh, excuse me right there. You can still play a defensive game if you want to. Like, we take a look at both of these spawns. The one for Salami, the one for Puppy Paw in the west side. They're still defensive if you want to be. I mean, I can wall this off very easily. Can wall off to the side, just like that. Can wall this south part. I mean, there's a couple of spots out here that you probably want to wall in, but at the same time, you know, maybe you want to start with a wall across here and then eventually move your wall out towards this position, but if you want to play a game that's passive, you can definitely do that on this map. You're just going to need to expend a couple of resources. And obviously, if we take a look at Puppy Paw's base, he's got a great base over here. Nice double front forest. That's exactly what you love to see if you're looking to play defensive. Now, let's talk a little bit about this matchup, because I do suspect, I've got my suspicions, I've got a suspicion that we're going to see a fast castle coming out of Salami. We've been seeing this taking over the ladder recently. A lot of people have been talking about this. I've been hearing whispers that some people even think this build order might be overpowered. I'm not kidding you. That's what I'm hearing. Now, obviously, there wasn't a huge amount of changes that really made the Malians that great in the most recent patch. The most important thing was a change in the pit mine. So you can see at the moment the pit mine, well, you can't actually see it. It doesn't show it on the UI. What is going on right now? Where is my sound? I guess I was probably on Puppy Paw. That's why we didn't hear the sound coming down. Yeah, so 5 gold a minute more. So not a huge amount. Obviously, when you start talking about Castle Age and the prospect of 3 pit mines, and that goes up to 15 gold a minute. But still, that's nothing crazy, right? Like, that's less than the relic nerf. The relic nerf was from 100 down to 80. So already that's a big difference. So I do suspect we're probably going to be seeing this. This is kind of like the standard build that Salami's been doing with the Malians. It's been doing very, very well. Just, you know, aggressive with the Saharan Trade Network on the front side. And then he's always got it in the back pocket if he wants to pull it out later on in the game. Saharan Trade Network always going to be here. Trading post is in a pretty decent spot. He can go up to this one in the north as well if he pleases. But I don't even think we're going to be looking at that. On the other side of the map, we do see Puppy Paw going down with the Dome of the Faith. So not looking into the Tower of Victory. See him rallying straight over towards the monastery. I've lost the name for it. Don't worry, I'll work it out. The mosque. There we go. Sometimes that brain of mine, it just decides to take a little bit of a snooze. We can see Puppy Paw now coming in. Big amount of sheep being brought back here. Now, I'd expect something similar coming out from Puppy Paw. The question is, how much is he actually going to be investing in his Dark Age? Or rather, sorry, in his Feudal Age. Now, I will note that he's going for the Dome of the Faith, which to me indicates it's going to be a bit more of a play around horsemen. And I think that's a pretty good decision, but there's a couple of factors here. Number one, he wants to look to secure sacred sites. Horsemen, they're going to help him with mobility and defending sacred sites, but not really going to help him in taking sacred sites. But by the same token, I would expect that Salami's probably just going to let him take the sacred sites, right? Because Salami, he's got his own plan. And we can see Salami's plan already beginning. Dropping down the mining camp right now. Next to the Saharan Trade Network. Beautiful little opening he's got here. I'm loving this so far. And Wheelbarrow now coming through for Puppy Paw. Age up about to be finished. There we go. 440, not a bad little time for it. Expect to see a whole bunch. It's going to be an archery range getting dropped down here. Probably not what you'd expect. Maybe a stable gets thrown. It's a double archery range off a Dome of the Faith. This is a little bit curious. I did not expect this at all. And maybe that's part of the plan, right? Like, show a Dome of the Faith. Now he goes for the stable. Okay, that's making a bit more sense. Show, I was going to say, maybe that's where he's going. You know, show a Dome of the Faith, and your enemy thinks, hey, he's going for double stables, and you actually go double archers. That could be the play. But we do see at this point in time, Salami heading towards that castle age. Still 6 villagers on wood. Quite a few villagers on wood. So could be thinking about going for that pit mine, but we do see him beginning to wall off. Nice walling position here as well. Looks like he's just going to wall the entire length of the wall. Let's see if he does it. Yeah, he's going to do it. He's going to go for a run. We need a term for this. What do we call this? He's going for the mile-long run. And this needs to have a term for it, though, because this is something that happens so often. You just want to secure that wall. Don't want to mess around with any kind of scouts blocking you and just being annoying. You just want to get it up there, and then you can always come back and finish it off. You're not really wasting a whole lot of time, really, by doing it. But he's obviously going to secure up the gold mine in the back, secures up the berries as well, and of course the relic. So a lot of things going well for him by doing this. But we do see the first of the units making their way out across the map now for Puppy Paw. 9 military units against 1, but this is quite expected, quite standard. Salami going to be looking at age up. We hear those cows coming out, taking advantage of the new buffed up cows. We talked earlier about how the pit mines are buffed up. 20 or an extra 5 gold a minute coming in. Take a look at this though, an extra 25 gold a cattle. First horseman coming through. Unfortunately, Puppy Paw making an uncharacteristic mistake though, with one of his first units. And look at this. Just beautiful timing right here from Salami. Just recognizing that, hey, the enemy's going to come in, look to push from this angle. He knows that they can't push towards the front, right? Because he's got the Saharan trade network. So he says, I'm just going to push towards the back. And behind this, we see the pit mine going up, nice and safe. That's going to give him plenty of population space once he gets to the castle age. Still pretty decent timing here, considering the fact he's gone for this pit mine so early on in this game. Normally, you wouldn't expect to see this coming out until maybe like the 10th, 11th minutes once you've aged up. But look at this. We got walls coming up in the middle of the map. Our big noob, aka Puppy Paw, is looking for that sanctity timing. We can see not too long. Another 60 seconds to go. Furimba Garrison going to be coming through shortly. Getting dropped down right now. Just next to the town center. I'm loving the position here. Right next to the town center. 8 villagers dropping it down. Expect to see that age up a little bit after the 8-minute mark. But look at this. The double wall coming in from Salami. We've seen multiple players look to do this. Secure the back of their base. Make sure they've got a nice little safety net back here. Obviously, by the time they get through this wall, Furimba Garrison is going to be well and truly established. And I think the question is, what direction do you look to go for when your enemy's got these types of units out? You want to go Donzos to deal with the horsemen. You want to go Javelin Throwers to deal with the archers. And I think that's probably the best call. You just go Javelin Thrower into Donzos. But then the problem that you've got is a villager does go down. He's got actual villagers fighting against the horsemen down here. Is that your enemy's going to be thinking about going Castle Age as well. And if you're going to let them get free sacred sites, and that's not 3 sacred sites, that's free sacred sites, you're not contesting them whatsoever, you're going to be in for a tough time. Now remember, Salami did have a scout out. Let's have a look and see if we can spot that scout. Here it is behind the base. So he could be out here on these sacred sites denying them right now, but he's not. And this is a key factor because these are uncontested. We've got 3 uncontested sacred sites coming up right now for Puppy Paw. So I would almost be tempted to say to Salami, hey, maybe think about adding in a second scout to this opening, because then what you can do is you can send your scout, first scout up here, deny this sacred site, second scout over here, deny this sacred site, give him a bit of a run around, and then you're delaying it by 30 seconds, 60 seconds, maybe even 90 seconds on that top site, and you're having a great time. That is so many resources that you're essentially wasting, but it looks like it's actually going to be archers opening here for Salami. Archer's going to be moving out. We did see a gate come down over here on the east side of the map, looking to repair that wall. Instead of using the villagers to repair, he just uses it to build a gate. Much more efficient when it comes to the amount of time that you're saving. Second set of archers about to come out, and we do see neutralize a sacred site written upon the screen. Second set of archers out now. Archery range going to get dropped down. He's going to be pulling through veterancy for this one. Over on at the same time, we can see the age up about to come through for his opponent. He's got to be careful though. Oh, he's going to get behind the walls. Smart move, but he does get body blocked. First of the archers goes down. Second archer. Oh my lord, it's terrible right now for Salami. Oh, he could have just come down here, just, you know, thrown a gate in here and walked the long way, instead of losing out so many archers here. I think he's lost about 2 archers potentially, maybe even 3. Takes out one of the horsemen. Palisade gate's going to be coming down. More vills moving up. But it looks like with this, he's going to have a tough time. He falls back, needs to throw a gate down on the south side. getting eaten for breakfast right now. The consequence of not going for those Donzos. And we see he's still making archers at this point. Salami just going with a mass archer strategy here. No veterancy just yet, no upgrades. Villagers get destroyed as well. Not 100% sure what the plan was there for Salami, but this early cavalry pressure coming out from Puppy Paw definitely going to be the right decision. And we can see a bit of an OG strategy coming out right here. We've got Puppy Paw playing for... This is a build order that we saw 6 months ago. We've been seeing Compound of the Defender. We've been seeing Tower of Victory a lot lately. We have not been seeing this kind of opening at all, at least for a long time. But now we can see the horsemen making their way through. Looks like the archers are in pretty decent numbers here. No upgrades yet to come through. In fact, do we even have blacksmiths up? Yeah, we've got a single blacksmith. And you can hear those relics getting picked up. That's 1, 2, 3 relics all picked up in the span of about 3 seconds. Really well played here by Puppy Paw. Where's that third one? There it is. Third one coming in. Looks like we've got the rewall coming in. So now you've got the huge advantage, right? Because on one side, sure, you've got your Donzos, you've got your archers, which are decent. But at the end of the day, your enemy's got 3 sacred sites. They've got 4 relics that have just been picked up right now. The 5th relic, you've walled it off. So they're not getting their hands on that. But they've taken every relic that's available to them. That's 320 gold a minute. And then they've taken 3 sacred sites, which is 450 gold a minute. So right now, the passive gold that we're talking about from Puppy Paw is absolutely massive. 770 gold a minute coming through for him right now. At least it will be shortly. Let's switch it over. You can see 450 of gold right now for sacred sites. Relics up to 80. We hear that scout calling out. And Sacred Victory is ticking. The clock is ticking. The numbers are looking good though for Salami. He's up a pretty decent amount. I like the way that Salami's actually playing this. The question is, how big does he go? Does he really look to all in with this position? Because we take a look at his economy. He's only got 3 villagers there on food. He's literally making only villagers with his food. That's it. All the rest of the villagers are out there preparing for units. You know, I'd love to see from Salami a forward siege workshop. Oh my lord. It would be amazing. You can see, but over on the other side, we got knights out. Huge numbers of knights. 7 knights already. 3 in queue. Technically, they are lancers, and there we go. Relic number 1 getting picked up, but the Imam going to go down immediately. Fortunately, he doesn't have much else to do on the map. The consequence of not walling completely. Now, if Salami wanted, he could just go take these villagers and put them through on the other side. Keep them all nice and safe behind these walls. And I think that's probably the smart move. It's only going to cost you 50 wood in the long run. You could just go here if you wanted. And now Salami continuing to move up towards the north. The problem is, it's very easy for Puppy Paw to come in and just re-wall this. I played a game against Salami. He was playing as the Delia. I was obviously playing as Chinese because, well, I'm not a lamer, but they are my main Sith. They're my go-to. And one of the things he continued to do to me was just re-walling. Over and over and over. He re-walled the same spot like 3 times. You can actually, if you want to go and watch the game, it's actually on Mr. Merlin's channel. Just type in Mr. Merlin AoE 4. It'll be a game that's, I think it's like Drongo versus Salami Dark Age walls. And you can see the power of those walls. But look at this, we got Musafati out on the field. Knight's going to have to run for their lives. As Musafati, you don't want to mess with those guys. Rather, those gals. They're strong, they're fast, they're quick. They're pretty. We do see the rewall coming through. The consequence of not leaving a couple of units down there to at least give him the circle jerk, the run around. Sacred site in the north now being captured. One down to the south. Uncontested. For quite a long time. You can imagine the damage that could have been done had a scout been down there. Just to deny it a little bit longer. But now behind this. I mean, at this point in time, Salami's numbers are looking solid. But keep in mind the numbers here. Keep in mind the numbers that we've got here for his opponent are very decent. He's got a lot of high-value units in here. Men-at-arms, knights or lancers. And of course, 11 scholars out at the moment. How many does he look to pull? He could pull every single one of these. I mean, he's got them just chilling out inside the production buildings. We actually see him making scholars the more expensive way. Now moving forward, he's got to be careful here. Rewall could come through in the middle of this fight. The Donzos could get eliminated. He's got to be so careful. We enter into the cinematic mode right now as the archers look to try and hold off on the backside. Donzos on the sacred side. We see the imams coming through, or rather the scholars doing their best. Archer numbers looking pretty strong for Salami though. He's just got to be careful with the Donzos. The Donzo numbers are really quite low right now, and Salami continues to push up, continues to apply pressure, taking out all of the archers of his enemy. And now going to begin focusing down on those armored units. But where are the reinforcements? And there they are for Salami coming in. He's got to fall back towards them, and indeed he does. Sacred site no longer being contested. Going to begin focusing down. The scholars doing the right thing. They're going to take 2 shots out. Musafadi coming through. Doesn't look like he's picked up veterancy for them just yet. But now going to be able to clean up that last little bit of army, and good little hold there for Salami. He's feeling good about himself. He just took that one down. Should be able to secure up the sacred sites shortly. Everything looking good, but the numbers still very, very solid now for Puppy Paw. Keep in mind, he's got plenty of passive gold coming in at the moment. 300 passive gold coming in from the sacred site, 600 or 320 through from those relics. And Salami's going to have a tough time dealing with that. Poison arrows come through. And now we've got a big problem. Look at the scholars healing off on the backside. Firing or dealing with all of these armored units is going to be so difficult for Salami. Needs to pull out Musafadi right now. And now he's going to continue kiting away, holding on for dear life. You can see he hasn't picked up any upgrades. Compare that over to his opponent, who's got 5 armor. He's got only 7 attack. Now, one of the things he's got going for him are those poisoned arrows. But remember, he's got heals from his scholars. He's got that extra healing as well. Keep in mind that in addition to having more scholars out on the field, he's got herbal medicine for free. Looks like he's fallen back for the moment. Salami in a bit of strife. Numbers are really looking not the best for him. Third pit mine is out now. I definitely feel like Salami might need to change up his play style when he's playing up against the Delhi. I feel like it's imperative to deny those sacred sites. At least getting out a second scout. Maybe even like dropping down a stable or something. You know, as soon as you age up, get a couple of scouts out. You know, get warrior scouts so you're extra quick. It's just something like that, just to delay each of the sacred sites. Because even if you delay them by a minute, you're delaying 300 gold from your enemy, or 450 if you get all 3 for a minute. So there's a big difference there. And then that 450 gold obviously gets reinvested into units, which come out sooner. And if they don't have those units sooner, it gives you more power. You're delaying their spike. And because you're delaying their spike, you're allowing yourself to have more oomph to deal with it. But now look at the numbers here. This is crazy from Puppy Paw. We've also got a Mangonel queue coming out, or a Mangonel in queue for him, rather. Looking to bring the Siege Workshop out. No Scholar in it just yet. The thing's looking good. Look at the Scholar numbers. This is an old school. It's an old school build, sir, but it checks out. The Men-at-Arms here as well. The only key difference that we're not really seeing is that he's actually gone for the House of Learning. So he's got that extra attack that's come through. Normally what we'd see is picking up the Compound of the Defender. And he'd utilize the Compound of the Defender and look for siege, or look for keep drops here. But obviously not going to do that. Now, Puppy Paw also scouts out with this the stables that have come down. So we can see that Salami is almost moving into a little bit of like a Sofar Musafadi style, which is a good style. Works very well, but look at the numbers that we've got right here. 36 archers, 33 men-at-arms, and a whole bunch of scholars pushing out here. Salami going to get taken by surprise. The Donzo's firing off. Fortunately, he realizes that knight's still hovering around the backside. So for warriors coming out, Salami. Oh my, look at the size difference between these militaries. 91, 92 plus 3 against 64, that's massive. Let's enter into the cinematic mode right now. I can feel it coming, ladies and gentlemen. The Musafadi moving out. He's looking to clean it up. The Mangonel shot comes in, hits the front line, a little bit of damage. Not a whole lot of units here for Salami. He's going to try his best to hold on. How good are the Musafadi? That's going to be the question. And look at the beautiful pink archers on the backside. Mangonel holding strong. Scholars just with their hands in the air like they just don't care. Look at their heals. He's just focusing the Scholar. It doesn't even matter. The invincible Scholar. And at the same time, we've got a keep drop coming through. Mangonel firing off on the backside. He doesn't even need to worry about it. Melting through everything that belongs to Salami. He'll be able to use this point right here to leverage himself off this keep. Begin sieging down the base of Salami with trebuchets, but he's not even going to need to. He just pushes forward with the Mangonels. So many units here. Salami having to fall back towards the base. And I think this might just be GG right here. How do you even deal with a mass this big? You've lost everything. The heals. This is an old school build, sir, but it checks out. That is for sure. An incredibly strong timing attack here. Coming out from Puppy Paw. There's a reason why he went to Wallalow. One of the best in the game right now. You can hear those Malian drums beating as well. Salami really looking to try and hold on for dear life. We can see he's going for a Mangonel himself. He reckons that's the way you can get back into the game, a Mangonel. And he might be right. Look at the numbers here. 29 archers, 5 crossbows. Even crossbows being mixed in right now. But the second keep going to get dropped down here. Look at this, 22 villagers on stone. They got their second tier upgrade. It doesn't show on the UI, I assure you, but Puppy Paw, the kind of guy who's not going to forget an upgrade. That is for certain. Indeed, he has picked up acid distillation. And now that Farimba Garrison under pressure, if that goes down, that's almost all of Salami's production. I mean, he's got a couple other buildings in the back. This is reduced cost. 5 at a time. It's the feels good. And now down on that south side, Salami realizes we got 7 minutes until Sacred Victory. Let's send some Sofa down there. Musafati moving out. Looking to try and find a way through. Mangonel might be in a little bit of trouble. Villagers coming in to repair. Men-at-Arms still looking to focus it down. Remember, these Men-at-Arms have got a little bit more damage than your standard Men-at-Arms. So they're going to be cutting through that Mangonel very quickly. Still on the backside, the Keeper's gone up. Villagers over on the east side, uncontested for the moment. Mangonel does go down, and with that, I think that might be Salami's hopes for a victory here. With that Mangonel going down, what else does he have to hold on here? He's trying his best to make it through. Second Mangonel is out. The Mangonel, a man, a dream, a Mangonel, a shot. It hits the middle. It's a pretty good one. He's still got Scholars here to repair. Throwing him down. Second shot going to come out. It's a little bit shallow, though. Only hits about 4 units. And I hear numbers being typed, and good game's going to get called as the third and fourth keep do get dropped. Puppy Paw victorious here, fellas. I'll leave links in the description of where you can catch these two exciting, incredible players. Of course, Salami, I'm a big fan of him. I love seeing his stuff. Didn't work out for him today, but maybe tomorrow it does. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.